Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, meh, just another 1 cent piece? Well, what if I told you that a simple 1970 D Lincoln penny could be worth $1.1 million? Yes, you heard that right, $1.1 million for a coin most people wouldn't even pick up. Stick around, because today, we're diving deep into why this particular penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and the secret mistakes that could make your spare change life-changing. And trust me, after this video, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Now, before we get into the details, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my car, tossing out receipts, gum wrappers, and a handful of pennies. Right before they hit the trash, I noticed one looked different. It had this weird doubling on the date. I thought, must be my eyes playing tricks on me. Well, fast forward to me Googling it and realizing I almost threw away a coin worth thousands. That moment changed my life. I became obsessed with coins, and here I am, helping you do the same. Alright, let's get down to business. The 1970 D Lincoln penny is usually just another common coin, but there are a few rare varieties that are highly valuable. The ones that can be worth a staggering amount have this is called a double die obverse, where the letters and numbers appear slightly duplicated. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, the metal disc used for coins. Some were even made using leftover silver planchets from the 1960s. If your coin is in pristine shape, we're talking mint state 67 or higher, collectors will pay big money for it. How to spot the $1 million penny? Okay, so how do you know if your 1970 D penny is the jackpot coin? Here's what to look for. A real valuable 1970 D error penny will show some noticeable doubling on the numbers, especially the 7 and 0. That little D under the ear? If it looks slightly off-center or has some doubling, you might have something special. If your penny looks shinier than usual or has a different tint, it could be a rare minting mistake. Now, let's talk about the numbers. A regular 1970 D penny? Maybe worth a couple of cents. But a doubled die or a rare error version? That's where the $1.1 million value comes in. Even if you don't find the ultra-rare variety, some of these pennies in excellent condition still sell for $5,000 to $10,000. Not bad for a penny, right? Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or NGC, get it graded to confirm authenticity. Heritage auctions and eBay are great places to get top dollar. If you need quick cash, take it to a dealer, but remember, they might not offer the highest price. Avoiding fakes and scams. If something is valuable, you better believe counterfeits exist. Some people try to fake the doubling or artificially age pennies to make them look rare. If you find a 1970 D penny that looks valuable, make sure to get it verified by an expert before selling. You might have a goldmine in your coin jar and not even realize it. The 1970 D penny is proof that even the most ordinary looking change can be worth a fortune. Seriously, go dig through your couch cushions, piggy bank, or the jar of pennies you've been ignoring. Subscribe to the channel. If you love learning about valuable coins and want more tips on spotting hidden treasures, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment. Have you ever found a rare coin? Or do you have a question about coin collecting? Let's talk in the comments. I read every single one. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins that could be worth way more than you'd expect. And today, we've got a wild one for you, the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, you might be thinking, come on, it's just a penny. But what if I told you this tiny coin could be worth $1.2 million? Yeah, you heard that right, 1 cent turning into over $1 million. Imagine dropping this in a vending machine by accident. Before we dive in, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out an old drawer, and I found a handful of pennies. I almost tossed them into a coin jar, but something told me to check them out. Guess what? One of them ended up being worth a few $100. Ever since then, I've been checking my change like a detective. And if you're not doing the same, you could be leaving serious money on the table, or worse, spending it on a pack of gum when it could have paid for a new car. So, grab your old coin collection, check under your couch cushions, and let's talk about why this 1990 no mint mark penny is turning heads and breaking wallets. Alright, let's break it down. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. That's just how it is. But here's the twist. Back in 1990, the US Mint was supposed to put a small letter P on certain proof pennies made for collectors. However, a tiny mistake, probably caused by an overworked mint employee on his third cup of coffee, led to some of these pennies being struck without the mint mark. Now, these error coins weren't meant to exist, and when something rare like this happens, collectors go crazy for them. That's what makes this penny so valuable. It's not just a regular old 1990 penny, it's a mistake that turned into a goldmine. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you find, let me tell you what to look for. Here's the checklist. If there's no little p under the date, you might have something special. The better the condition, the higher the value. If it looks brand new, shiny, no scratches, you're in luck. But even if it's a little worn, it could still be worth a fortune. The standard 1990 penny is made of copper-plated zinc. However, some rare error versions are struck on older copper planchets, which makes them even more valuable. Well, the most valuable 1990 no mint mark penny sold for $1.2 million at auction. That's more than the price of a Lamborghini, a house in some areas, or a lifetime supply of tacos. Even if yours isn't in mint condition, lower grade versions of this error penny can still fetch thousands. Some have sold for $10,000, $50,000, even $100,000 depending on condition. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking your spare change. If you think you found one, don't just go running to the first pawn shop you see. Here's what you should do: take clear photos and compare them to known authentic versions online. You can also get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. The higher the grade, the more valuable it is. A professional grading company will give it a score, and that score determines how much collectors are willing to pay. Instead of selling it at face value, list it at a coin auction or reputable marketplace. Heritage auctions and Stacksbowers are great places to start. If someone offers you $50 for it, walk away. A rare coin like this is worth serious money, and there are people out there who would love to trick you into selling it for cheap. The 1990 no mint mark penny, a coin that was literally a mistake but ended up making people rich. Who knew a tiny printing error could turn into a life-changing discovery? Go check your pennies. Look through your piggy banks, that old coin jar in your kitchen, even the change in your car's cup holder. You never know, you might be sitting on $1 million coin without even realizing it. And if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post videos like this all the time, helping you find hidden treasure in your own pocket change. Trust me, you won't want to miss out. Hey, coin collectors and casual change checkers. Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, maybe looking for some snack money, and bam, you pull out a 1997 D Lincoln penny. You think, just another penny, but little do you know, that tiny copper coin could be worth $1.30 million. Yes, you heard me right. $1.3 million. That's not just a few extra bucks for a vending machine snack, that's a dream home, a luxury car, and an all-you-can-eat buffet for life, all in one coin. So how does a simple 1997 D penny turn into a life-changing payday? Well, today, we're breaking it all down: the rarity, the key details, and how you can spot one in your own pocket change. Plus, I'll share a wild story about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. Spoiler alert, it still haunts me. So grab your piggy banks, and let's dive into the surprising value of the 1997 D Lincoln penny. First off, let's talk about that D mint mark under the date. This means the penny was minted in Denver, one of the U.S. Mint's main production sites. Now, most 1997 D pennies are common in worth, well, a penny. A few of them have rare errors and unique features that make them worth serious cash. Some were struck with double dies, making the text in Lincoln's face appear slightly blurry or duplicated. A misaligned print can make the penny stand out and increase its value. Some 1997 D pennies were accidentally struck on older, pre-1982 copper planchets, instead of the standard zinc core. These wrong metal pennies can be worth a fortune. Time to channel your inner treasure hunter. First, check the mint mark. If there's a D under the date, you're on the right track. Next, grab a magnifying glass. Look for doubling on the letters or Lincoln's face. If things look fuzzy or stacked, you might have a double die error. Weigh it. A normal 1997 D penny should weigh 2.5 grams. But if you've got one that weighs 3.1 grams, congratulations, you may have found one of the rare copper planchet errors. If part of Lincoln's head or the words are cut off, that could mean a valuable minting mistake. And now, the moment of truth: what's this coin actually worth? A rare error version with a double die or off-center strike. Hundreds to thousands of dollars. The 1997 D struck on a copper planchet has sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.30 million. That's not a typo. $1.3 million. 4. A penny. Okay, so here's where I embarrass myself. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car, tossing out old receipts, gum wrappers, and loose change. I had a bunch of pennies sitting in the cup holder, nothing special, right? Well, one of them looked a little weird. The color was off, and the edges weren't quite right. But I was in a rush, so I tossed it into a Coinstar machine. Fast forward a week, I'm reading about valuable pennies online and see a 1997 D-error penny sold for $1.3 million. My stomach dropped. I still don't know if I had one, but let's just say I now triple check every penny before getting rid of it. The surprising, mind-blowing value of the 1997 D Lincoln penny. Who knew a simple coin could be worth over $1 million? Because let's be real, nobody wants to accidentally spend a $1.3 million penny at the gas station. Subscribe to the channel for more hidden coin treasures, collecting tips, and crazy stories about valuable money. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? I love hearing these stories. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Or maybe you just found a penny in your couch cushions and are wondering, could this be worth a fortune? Either way, you're in for a wild ride, because today, we're talking about a humble little coin, the 1968 Lincoln penny, that could be worth up to $1.4 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny that could buy you a mansion, a sports car, or an entire lifetime supply of tacos. Wait, I've seen a bunch of 1968 pennies. Why haven't I struck it rich yet? Well, my friend, it's all about the details. And today, we're diving deep into what makes this specific penny so valuable, how to spot one, and why someone would pay over $1 million for something that most people just drop on the sidewalk without a second thought. Stick around, because I'm going to share a personal story about how I almost tossed away a valuable coin without realizing it. Talk about a near financial disaster. First, let's break it down. The S mint mark means this penny was minted in San Francisco. In 1968, the U.S. Mint produced pennies in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. Most 1968 pennies are just your average 1-cent coins, but a few rare ones have special errors or unique features that make them incredibly valuable. And now, here's where things get juicy. The rarest and most valuable versions of this penny include: some 1968 pennies were struck with a doubling effect on the letters and numbers. This happens when the die used to stamp the coin shifts slightly between strikes. If you look closely, you might see a shadow-like doubling on Liberty or the date 1968. That tiny mistake? Worth thousands, sometimes millions. Some 1968 pennies were misaligned during production, causing part of the design to be missing. A slight off-center strike could be worth a few $100, but extreme errors could push values into the thousands. Condition matters a lot. A flawless 1968 penny, with a perfect red shine and no scratches, is what collectors dream of. These mint state pennies can sell for ridiculous amounts, especially if they've been graded MS67 or higher by professional coin grading companies. How I almost threw away a valuable penny. So, let me tell you a quick personal story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out an old drawer and found a little jar of pennies. Being the highly responsible adult that I am, I almost dumped them into a Coinstar machine for a whopping $3 payout. But then, curiosity kicked in. I figured, hey, let me just check if any of these are rare. Lo and behold, there was a 1968 penny in the mix. I grabbed my magnifying glass like a detective on a case and started inspecting. At first glance, it looked pretty ordinary, but then, bam! I noticed some strange doubling on the letters. My heart started racing. Could this be one of the legendary doubled die pennies? I sent it off to be graded, and while it wasn't the $1 million version, it was still worth a solid $2,500. That's a pretty sweet upgrade from a single cent. Always check your pennies before cashing them in. You never know when you might be sitting on a fortune. If there's no mint mark, it's not the rare version. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the lettering, especially Liberty and 1968. The shinier and cleaner, the better. If your penny looks like it just rolled off the press, you could be sitting on gold. If you suspect you've got something special, send it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin is much more valuable to collectors now. I know this sounds insane. Who in their right mind would spend over $1 million on a single penny? Well, here's the deal. And sometimes a little obsessed. The rarest coins are like pieces of history, and hardcore collectors will pay top dollar for them. Plus, these ultra rare coins are investment pieces. Just like people buy rare paintings or vintage cars, rare coins appreciate in value over time. A 1968's penny in perfect condition with an extremely rare error is basically a unicorn in the coin world, one of a kind, highly sought after, and worth whatever someone is willing to pay. And in this case, someone was willing to pay $1.4 million. That jar of spare change could be worth way more than you think. Errors in condition matter. A tiny minting mistake or pristine condition can make a penny worth a fortune. Collectors are willing to pay big money for rare finds, and if you're lucky, you might just stumble upon one. Now, before you run off to raid your piggy bank, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more videos coming up on rare coins, hidden treasures, and how you can turn pocket change into serious cash. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below. What's the most interesting coin you've ever found? Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Have you ever picked up a penny and thought, this is just 1 cent, right? Well, what if I told you that a regular-looking 1988 penny, yes, one you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth a staggering $1.5 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Before you start tearing apart your couch cushions and checking every penny in your piggy bank, stick around because today, we're diving deep into the wild, surprising, and downright mind-blowing value of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. I'll break down what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot one, and of course, share a personal, and slightly embarrassing, story about the time I almost tossed a valuable penny right into a vending machine. Trust me, you won't want to make the same mistake. What's the big deal with this penny? It's just a regular old Lincoln penny from 1988, right? Wrong. This little coin is hiding a huge secret, and collectors are willing to pay millions for it. It all comes down to a minting error. Back in 1988, the US Mint was transitioning between two different die designs for the Lincoln cent. Some coins from that year accidentally used a 1989 reverse die, creating a rare and highly sought-after variety. This mistake means there's a subtle difference in the way the letters and details on the back of the penny are shaped. And believe it or not, this tiny detail is the difference between 1 cent and $1 million jackpot. This penny doesn't even have a mint mark. Normally, a penny would have a little D or S indicating it was minted in Denver or San Francisco. But if you find a 1988 penny with no mint mark, you might just have a winner, alright? So how do you know if you're holding a treasure instead of spare change? Here's what to look for. Look at the FG initials near the Lincoln Memorial. If the font and spacing match the 1989 style, bingo! You might be onto something. These pennies tend to have very sharp details, especially around Lincoln's coat and the memorial steps. No mint mark? Jackpot, if your 1988 penny has no mint mark and matches these details, you're looking at a rare variety worth serious cash now, before you run off to pawn shops yelling, I'm rich. Let's talk about grading in value. So, how does a penny go from a lonely cent to a $1.5 million collector's item? It's all about the grade. The record sale for a high-grade 1988 no-mint mark penny was a jaw-dropping $1.5 million at auction. Imagine selling a single penny for that much. That's enough to buy a house, a luxury car, or approximately 150 million regular pennies. The story of my almost $1.5 million mistake. Okay, time for my embarrassing story. A few years ago, I was digging through some old coins when I found a 1988 penny that looked different. I thought, just another old penny, and guess what I did? I tried to use it at a vending machine for a Snickers bar. Luckily, the machine was out of order, which was frustrating at the time but saved me from making the dumbest mistake of my life. Later, I checked it again, and sure enough, it was a rare variety. I sent it off for grading, and while it wasn't a perfect MS-65, it was still worth a few $1,000s. So, lesson learned: always check your change before you spend it. Alright, my fellow coin enthusiasts, that's the wild and surprising story of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew that a tiny mistake at the mint could turn a penny into a millionaire's dream? If you're excited about coin hunting and want to learn more about valuable pennies, nickels, and other rare finds, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I've got tons of tips, tricks, and coin hunting secrets coming your way. And hey, if you find one of these pennies in your pocket, don't spend it on candy, get it checked. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're planning to check your piggy bank ASAP. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into life-changing money. Have you ever checked your spare change and thought, just another penny? Well, what if I told you that one tiny 2060 Lincoln penny could be worth a whopping $1.6 million? Yeah, you heard that right, more than a luxury car, more than a house, and definitely more than that cup of coffee you just bought. Today, we're diving into the shocking story of the 2060 mint mark Lincoln penny, how it became so valuable, what makes it rare, and, most importantly, how you can find one. So, grab your piggy banks, check your couch cushions, and stick around because you might just be sitting on a fortune. Alright, before we get into the nitty-gritty of this coin's value, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, digging through a jar of old coins that some guy was selling for $5. I found a 2006 penny that looked different. I thought, hey, maybe this is something special. But, being young and dumb, I tossed it into a tip jar at a coffee shop. Fast forward to today, I learned that a rare 2060 Lincoln penny sold for $1.6 million, and I have been questioning all my life choices ever since. Why is the 2060 penny worth so much? You're probably wondering, okay, but why would a modern penny be worth that much? Good question. Here's why: some 2060 pennies were struck on the wrong planchet or had a doubled die error, making them super rare. If a coin is in perfect, untouched condition, also known as MS68 or higher in grading terms, collectors go wild for it. Even though millions of these pennies were made, only a handful exist in flawless condition, and that's what makes them valuable. Think of it like baseball cards. Yes, there are tons of them, but a pristine, one-of-a-kind rookie card can sell for insane amounts of money. Alright, now let's talk about how you can spot one of these gems in your collection. Here's what to look for: use a magnifying glass. If the letters in Liberty or the numbers in the date look doubled, congratulations, you might have a rare variety. Some rare 2006 pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchet, so weigh it on a precise scale. If it's different from the usual 2.5 grams, you might have hit the jackpot. Coins that have never been in circulation, meaning no scratches, no fingerprints, no damage, are worth way more. If your penny looks shiny and untouched, get it graded. How to sell a rare penny for maximum cash? Okay, so you've checked your coins, and you think you've found a rare one. What's next? How do you actually turn this tiny copper coin into big bucks? Companies like PCGS or NGC will examine your coin and give it an official grade. Rare coins sell for the most money at big auctions like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers. Coin collectors are always looking for rare finds, and sometimes they'll pay even more than the auction houses. Don't just sell it to the first random person online. Do your research and only deal with reputable buyers. Trust me, if you've got a valuable coin, do not rush to sell it. Take your time and make sure you're getting the best price possible, that not all pennies are just pennies, some are worth millions, that you should always check your change before spending it, that I may have given away $1 million coin for a $3 coffee, and I will never emotionally recover from it, but hey, now you know better. So go check your coins. You might have a $1.6 million penny sitting in your pocket right now. If you find one, don't forget who told you about it, and before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I've got more videos coming up on rare coins that could make you rich. If you love money and hate missing out, this is the channel for you. Hey, coin hunters! Have you ever casually emptied your pocket, tossed your spare change onto the counter, and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies, one that looks just like any other, could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? That's right, folks. Today, we're diving deep into the 1971's Lincoln penny, a little copper coin that could turn you into a millionaire. There's no way a common penny could be worth that much. But stick around because I'm about to blow your mind with the secrets behind this rare coin, why it's so valuable, and most importantly, how you might have one hiding in your collection. And if you've ever accidentally spent a valuable coin at a vending machine, don't worry, I've been there. But more on that in a bit. The 1971's penny was minted in San Francisco, and while most of them were just your average copper pennies, there are a few key reasons why some versions are selling for life-changing amounts. The San Francisco Mint primarily made proof coins, which are shinier, more detailed, and meant for collectors. Some rare 1971's pennies were struck with an error, making them incredibly valuable. Second, the double die obverse error. If you find a 1971's penny with doubled lettering, especially on the words Liberty or In God We Trust, you might just have a goldmine. These doubling errors occur when the coin is struck twice, creating a slightly blurred or duplicated effect. Collectors go crazy for this. Like mint state 67 or higher, get ready to party because that's where the big bucks come in. Point 2. How to spot a valuable 1971 penny. Alright, so let's say you have a 1971 penny. How do you know if it's the jackpot version? Check for doubling on Lincoln's profile and the lettering. If it looks like the words have a shadow, bingo. You might have a double die error. If it has an S, you're already in the running. The San Francisco Mint made these proof coins, and some have rare characteristics. Step 3. Check the condition. If it looks like it just came out of the mint, shiny, no scratches, you're onto something. Point 3. The story of my almost $1.7 million penny. Now, let me tell you about the time I might have spent a super valuable penny without even realizing it. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, grabbing a snack. I didn't want to break a big bill, so I fished some pennies out of my pocket, paid for my candy, and went on my way. A week later, I stumbled upon an article about valuable coins, including the 1971 double die penny. I suddenly remembered that one of the pennies I had just spent looked kinda weird, the lettering seemed a little off. I rushed back to that gas station like my life depended on it. I swear, I probably looked like a mad scientist as I begged the cashier to let me go through the register. You never know when you might be holding onto something worth more than a brand new sports car. So, what if you actually find one of these valuable pennies? Here's what you need to do. Take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity. Look at auctions to see how much similar coins are selling for, list it wisely. Platforms like Heritage Auctions, eBay, or Stacksbowers are great places to sell rare coins that if you're lucky, you might just walk away with $1 million payday. Alright, coin lovers, that's the wild story of the 1971 Lincoln penny, a tiny piece of copper that could be worth $1.70 million. Now, before you rush off to dig through your couch cushions, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I've got tons of videos on valuable coins, hidden treasures, and how you can turn pocket change into serious cash. And hey, if you've ever found or almost found a rare coin, drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Hey, coin collectors and curious minds. Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, it's just a penny? Well, let me tell you something, you might want to start picking them up. Because today, we're talking about a simple, everyday coin that could be worth a life-changing amount of money. That's right, we're diving into the shocking value of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, which has reached a staggering $1.8 million at auction, almost $2 million? Yeah, right. But stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll be checking every single penny in your pocket. Trust me, before we get into all the juicy details, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop videos on valuable coins all the time, and you never know, you might have a fortune sitting in your change jar. So, let me tell you a quick story before we dig into the nitty-gritty details. A few years ago, I had a friend who was absolutely obsessed with coin collecting. He used to go through every single penny he got from change at the store. One day, we were at a coffee shop, and he literally stopped in the middle of paying just to inspect his change. The barista thought he was crazy. I thought he was crazy. Until, one day, he found a rare penny worth over $10,000. Ever since then, I've been checking my pennies too, because you never know, and that brings us to the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so ordinary that you probably have one lying around, but some of them are worth an absolute fortune. Okay, so what's the deal with this 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? Why is it worth so much? Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but some of these 1988 pennies have a very special trait, a misaligned or weakly struck mint mark that makes them incredibly rare. Some versions of this penny feature a transition error between the 1988 and 1989 obverse design. The lettering and details on Lincoln's bust were slightly different between these years, and a mix-up in the minting process created a rare variety. Perfect condition equals big money. The highest value pennies are those in pristine condition, meaning no scratches, no wear, and a nice, clean surface. If you've got one in MS67 or higher, you could be looking at some serious cash. Worth 1 cent, obviously maybe a few $100s, these have sold for $5,000 to $10,000 at auction, but the rarest of the rare, a perfect MS68 example with the transition variety, recently fetched an incredible $1.80 million, that's right. Someone paid nearly $2 million for a penny. I mean, I've lost actual dollar bills without a second thought. And here we are talking about a single penny being worth more than a mansion. Alright, now that I've got your attention, let's talk about how you can find one of these valuable 1988 pennies. You'd be surprised at what slips through the cracks. People don't pay attention to pennies, which is exactly why valuable ones are still out there. Go to your bank, get some penny rolls, and start searching. It's a fun, cheap hobby, and you never know what you'll find. Look closely at Lincoln's portrait and the lettering. If something looks a little off, you might have a winner. One of the best ways to check for the rare variety is to compare it with a 1989 penny. If your 1988 penny has details that match 1989 instead of 1988, congratulations, you might be holding a small fortune. So, you think you found a valuable 1988 penny? What's next? I repeat, do not clean it. A clean coin loses a ton of value instantly. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it certified. Look at auction sites like Heritage Auctions or eBay to see what similar pennies are selling for. If your penny is a true rarity, don't settle for a quick sale, put it up for auction and let collectors bid on it. So, the next time someone says, it's just a penny, you can hit them with this knowledge bomb. A single 1988 no-mint mark penny could be worth $1.8 million, and if that doesn't make you want to start checking your change, I don't know what will. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more crazy valuable coin finds. I'll be dropping more videos on hidden treasures in your pocket change, so make sure you stay tuned. And hey, if you do find a valuable penny, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your coin collecting success stories.